This is a disclaimer. This video content is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of how I cleared my skin, and in this video I want to talk about Accutane and how I survived, because this is an extreme treatment. Accutane, or isotretinoin, is a powerful medication prescribed to treat severe, difficult to control acne. It's a form of a class called retinoids and is used to treat severe acne that does not clear up using any other medications. I had mentioned in my last video that I started at 20 milligrams, then 40 milligrams, and then 60 milligrams. And this is what the packaging looks like. So I started at 20, and then 40, and then 60 together after a certain amount of months. I was on Accutane for 6 months, I believe. 5 or 6 months. I don't know, because the way the doctor would say at the end of a first month, to me that was already month 1, but she was like, no, this is month 2. I don't remember. And if you watch my last video, which I highly recommend, very educational, I had mentioned how difficult it is to get these out, and what Accutane is and why you should see a dermatologist. And actually, you cannot get these in the United States without a prescription, because there's this long process, which I mentioned in my last video, where I had to go on iPledge, which is this company that makes sure that whoever's taking the medication is answering questions, is abstaining either from sex or using 2 forms of birth control to make sure that the baby, if you were to get pregnant, which you're not supposed to be pregnant, and you shouldn't be pregnant, and you should not get pregnant while on Accutane, but this just shows you the abnormalities that could happen to a fetus while on Accutane. And I knew I didn't want to get pregnant, or wasn't having any plan of getting pregnant, and I wanted to do this. I made a conscious choice. Now, like everything in life, do your own research, consult your doctors, but this is what worked for me. I started on 20 milligrams, and this is just a regular pill bottle that I get from my pharmacy, and I had taken the pills out of the container, of the packaging, because it was just so difficult to open after a while. And so if you were to open one of these capsules, a clear liquid would come out. I don't want to do it now because it'll dry out my hands, but it's essentially like eating or digesting tretinoin, because it's a very strong retin-A. So that each pill of these was 20 milligram, and then I moved up to 40 every 2 days, and then, which was 30, I think is how we did it. And then I moved up to 40 milligrams once a day, and then she moved me up to 60 milligrams once a day. So how was my Accutane journey? LOL. So the first month I noticed some purging of my skin, but after that it was completely fine. Then I moved up to 30 milligrams, and that's when I really started to notice the drying of my lips. And when I tell you, I had watched videos of people, and I'll try to put a picture in here of what my lips looked like. I tried Blistex, Aquaphore, I was trying Vaseline. I would lick my lips, but I knew that that would make them worse. I tried everything you can think of. Chapstick, because I always carry chapstick as it is. My go-to agave nectar lip mask was not moisturizing enough for these lips. That's how painful they were. And then I went to Walgreens and found this brand, Cocoa Butter Lip Balm, and it's from the brand Cocoa Care. And when I put this on, my lips were singing. They were like, because I had found what I needed. And then I went on Amazon and bought like 20 of them in bulk and had them everywhere, like all over, because this was me. 5 seconds later. I already don't like chapped lips or dry lips on myself or others, I guess, but you can't control other people. But back to what I was saying. This is what saved me. And I've seen other people's videos. That's what I was going to say. I've seen other people's videos where they were like, oh, Aquaphore helped me. No. This is the only thing that I was using for those 4 or 5 months. Once I discovered this, it was my holy grail. So once I got to the 40 milligram dosage, my skin really started to get dry. And that's when I incorporated the big tube of Aquaphore. I'll put a picture up. That really helped me. So I washed my face. And during this time, my doctor told me, do not use anything else except Cerave wash, Cerave lotion, or like the Aquaphore stuff. Because anything else can really irritate your skin. And because it's going through such an intense process, it will damage your skin. So I listened and I was using Cerave, which I love and I still use to this day, and the lotion, but I was also using the Aquaphore because it was so dry. So I would put it on my face and it would really help with the dryness that my skin was feeling. And of course, drinking a lot of water. I wasn't so good at drinking water, I'll be honest. But looking back, I should have been, because it probably would have prevented what was going to happen. So the Aquaphore really helps because you weren't able to see my skin flaking up because I had it moisturized all the time. All you could see was like this glow, and people started to notice. My aunts and cousins were like, your skin looks really good. I'm like, thanks, I'm doing this treatment. But I still needed some more, and that's when one of my sorority sisters, ironically, I guess, dropped a brand, and it's called Skin by B. Romay. I hope I didn't butcher that. She'll kill me. And I was using this rose hip oil, and I have never been someone who had dry skin, but I got the dry skin one, and it moisturizes, nourishes, and brightens. Add 4 to 7 drops around your cleansed face. It has almond oil, apricot kernel, vitamin E, tea tree oil, marula, and there's like roses in there. When I tell you this saved my life to the point where I didn't even need to get the Aquaphore anymore, because I was putting this on and then I was putting on the Cerave morning and night, because I'm not going to walk around looking ashy and crusty and dry. That's just not me. I don't work like that. So this and this, I would say, were my saving grace during the Accutane journey, and I highly recommend. I'll link this down below, and if I find this on Amazon, I'll link this down below. So when I was going through my treatment, it was mainly like end of fall, winter, so I really didn't need SPF, but when it started to get like February, March, I started using SPF because I was not about to damage my skin, considering isotretinoin or Accutane is a retinoid, and when you go into the sun, your skin will get very sensitive. So I was using this, which is the Biossance, what is this called? Squalene and Zinc Sheer Mineral Sunscreen, and this doesn't leave like a white cast on your skin, which I love. Not so white consistency, but it like blends in. See? Like butter. And then I'll show you guys this oil. And I still use this to this day. Did I use it today? Yeah, I think I used it this morning. And it smells like tea tree oil. And during my Accutane, I believe I went through 2 or 3 bottles of this. And I would get the big size. So she has a 1 ounce and this is a 2 ounce. And I wasn't playing any games. I made sure to have this on deck. And when it started to like get to the bottom, I would get another one because I knew I needed it. And this is Black owned, so if you're gonna do it, Accutane, I recommend you do this. At that time, my doctor had told me to stop the spironolactone, stop the benzoyl wash, and she had prescribed clindamycin and benzoyl peroxide topical gel. And this is by prescription. I don't know if you can get this without a prescription. I don't think so. It says prescription only right there. And this is 1 to 5 milligrams. I don't really know what that means, but basically when I got a pimple during the treatment, I would put this on and it would dry it out instantly. I was like, where was this all my life? But again, you need it prescribed. I didn't really have to use it, to be honest. I was kind of just focusing more on my skin as it was, and I maybe used that like 2 or 3 times when I got like a really big one. Like the last one I got was down here. And she told me once that was dried out to go in, which I haven't, to go in with the tretinoin so that my skin would turn over. Oh wow, this isn't even open. I haven't used it. But that's okay because it doesn't expire till 2022 and I haven't needed it, but I'm actually gonna start it down here because I have some dark spots. I'm going to be inserting pictures or videos as the months progressed very soon because I did want to do like before and after kind of thing. And one of the main side effects that I noticed was exhaustion. So here's the negative side of Accutane. As someone who has a long history of anxiety and depression, and it runs in my family, the doctor was very clear about, listen, here are the side effects. If you start having suicidal thoughts, if you start feeling like your brain hurts or you're having headaches, it could be because your brain is swelling. That is very limited. It doesn't happen. It happens like 0.1% in people. And there was a pilot, I guess. This is a story she actually told me. There was a pilot that like killed himself while on Accutane. But I didn't start noticing the exhaustion until she increased my dosage to 40 milligrams, which was not my full dosage. My full dosage with my weight, which at the time was 133 or 134 around there, which is the most I've ever weighed. And my dosage was supposed to be 60 milligrams, which was 1 of each. So, and that's once per day. I could have done 40 in the morning, 20 in the night, or together, which is what I would typically do, and I would do it at bedtime. So besides the dry lips, which I figured out with this, and the dry skin, which I figured out with the oil, I started to get like brain fog. Like everything was like difficult to do. Like getting out of bed was hard. I was just exhausted all the time. And I'm someone who, my house has to be clean, and I was just like, I don't have the energy for it. And so I would try to counteract that with water by drinking a lot of water because it was drying out my soul. And I want to say that it worsened my anxiety. I don't know if it worsened my anxiety. It started to cause depressive symptoms in me, and that was one of them. Like, just not having any motivation. My motivation was 0 at the time. Like, I had no energy at all. And I wasn't eating the best at the time because I just had no motivation. And she warned me of all this. She said, you know, let me know and we'll stop the treatment. Let me know and we'll stop the treatment, girl. I was gonna get clear skin by any means necessary. And that isn't something that I'm saying on here that everybody should do. You have to know your body and you have to know what you can deal with. So when she increased me to 60 milligrams, that's when it was like, and I was like, oh, this strength is different. And I was only supposed to be on 60 milligrams for a month, and I couldn't do it. I took it maybe 2 or 3 days, and the first day I didn't feel anything. The second day I was fine, but the third day, that's when I was like, I can't do this. And I didn't tell her. I just stopped taking the medicine altogether because I needed to gain strength again. And so I stopped it for a week and then went back on it after a week. and went to like 20 milligrams or 40 milligrams. So I'm not proud of not completing my treatment as I should have, and that's why I have so many extra pills now. But I literally couldn't do it. I was constipated. I didn't have energy. I was down. I didn't want to get out of bed. So like depressive symptoms were happening. Again, that was the last month of my treatment at 60 milligrams. So she slowly increased it little by little to see how my body would tolerate it. And I didn't. And I went in and I was like, I can't do the 60 milligram. Like, not, I don't actually think I told her that. I told her that I stopped for a week because I had forgotten. Because I was scared she would stop the treatment. I was still getting blood work every month. I was still doing pregnancy tests. I was abstinent at the time, so I didn't really have to worry about that. I was still answering all the questions in iPledge, but now I know what a lot of people's videos, when they posted them on YouTube about their experience with Accutane, now I know what they meant by that, because it smacked me in the face. And I was like, if I take the 60 milligrams every day for a month, I will literally lose myself. Like, I will be so depressed and so sunken. And I've worked very hard in therapy, and I've been very open about my depression and anxiety, again, in my blog. And I knew what I had to do for myself, and that was not to take 60 milligrams every day. And I was on a lower dosage than most people are. Most people get started at 40. Most people started at 60. My body and my brain and my soul was like, we can't do this. So I stopped it. Another side effect was constipation. Like, crazy. Like, it hurt to poop. I was bleeding, TMI, but you guys are here for a reason. It was really, really difficult to poop. It just was. Like, I have PTSD to this day, and I stopped the treatment, I want to say 2 months ago. And I feel great now, right? I've been more conscious about what I put in my body. I've been a lot healthier, mainly because I think I'm about to hit the big 30. And my body's not processing food anymore. But since the treatment, every time I go to the bathroom, number 2, I'm like, am I going to bleed? Is it going to cut me? It doesn't, because I'm not taking the medicine anymore. But it was really scary to poop. What else? Oh, I've noticed that the hollows right here under my eye. So I've always had this like pronounced occipital bone. And I'm not even sure if that's what that part is called. But I've always had like this darkness right here, right? So when you see someone's bags, this area right here that I'm touching is what would be considered my bags, right? But because of the way my skin and my face shape is aligned, there's a hollow area down here. I've had it since I can remember. Since Accutane, I've noticed them more. Maybe because I don't have time to focus on the acne that isn't there. Thank God. Knock on wood. But this area is now more pronounced on me. And I'm not sure if it's because it sucked my soul, the Accutane, or if it's just because it's more noticeable, right? And yeah, I can color correct and I can put concealer and stuff, but maybe you can see it there. You see the part under my eye? I wish I had something to point at it. It's now more pronounced. Would I recommend Accutane? 100%. Without a doubt. Would I do it again? 100%. I am in what's called remission, and most people, when they think of remission, they think of cancer. So someone who's gone through cancer, chemo, radiation, all of that, and they get checked and they no longer have cancer. So I'm in a remission phase, and my dermatologist says she wants to see me once a year just to see how it's going, which she's still my dermatologist, and I may have to do it again in 5 years. Since I stopped the treatment, I got one pimple around my period, but it wasn't anything like, I freaked out, I'm not gonna lie. And I still have PTSD where there's times where I'll drink alcohol the night before and I'll drink a lot of water and worry that something's gonna pop up, or you know, I'll see something on my face and I'm like, ah! And that is the trauma of having lived with acne my entire life. So what do I recommend? I recommend you have chapstick. I recommend the oil, but I mainly recommend getting a great dermatologist, someone who hears you, someone who supports you through this time, knowing your body, listening to your body. I can see how someone can become severely depressed on this medication if you're already predisposed to depression and anxiety, and that's something they tell you in the beginning, right? And they knew that I had a history of it, so I said it, and she said, well, we'll monitor it. And every time I went in, she's like, how's your mood? And I was like, I feel tired. Every time someone said, how are you? Tired. I was always tired. But this is the end result. And I love it. I love my skin. I just love looking at myself. And I haven't been wearing that much makeup, even though I love makeup still. But, you know, it's been a process of learning to love myself and accept myself again. And realizing that I've always been beautiful, but I couldn't see past that because of everything that was on my face. I'm still using a simple skincare routine. I've been focusing mainly on the under eye area. I've been putting a bunch of stuff, but I also know that these bags are genetic. They're not going to go away with just any kind of thing. I would probably have to get filler, which I've been thinking about between you and I probably have to get filler to get the hollows to like come out a little bit. But yes, I hope this video was helpful. I hope you watched part 1. If you didn't watch part 1, I recommend you go there to get any more information. Please leave any questions below about this that I can help as much as possible. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it was helpful, and I hope you guys all skin healing and great skin and feeling comfortable in your own skin, and just I hope I was helpful. Until next time. Take care. Oh my god, my mic hasn't been on me this whole time. I hope y'all heard that, because that's not gonna be good. Okay, I'm done with the video. I'm done making the video about Accutane.